Sophie and I'm a teacher for Ibiza Retreats. Today in this yoga practice we're going to be exploring the core for emotional and physical strength, and to help me today we've got Rhea, and she's going to come and join me, and we're going to go through some breath work that is very stabilizing and grounding for the nervous system. So when you come to seated, I want you to make sure that you're seated up on something so that your hips are higher than your knees. You're going to place a strap around your lower rib cage. So it's going to wrap around here and you're going to tie it together. And so this is a way of finding your core, finding that connection of knitting the tissue together. The first breath we're going to do is you're going to take an inhale and breathe into your upper back. So it's here. And then exhale, release. Inhale, expand into your upper back. Exhale, release. Beautiful. The next part of this is inhale, breathe into your upper back. Exhale, engage, engage, engage. And it's like you're trying to shrink wrap your stomach away from the strap. Inhale, upper back, expand. Exhale, engage. Good. And you can tell she's doing this really well because the strap is starting to fall down. So it means that she's getting that deep integration that you need. Good. Last one, Rhea. And as you engage, can you see how you can actually grow? You don't need to shorten as you engage. So the next part of this, we're going to come straight onto all fours. And you're going to place the brick in between your thighs here. That's it. You can take away the strap now, although if you find it's helpful to keep this muscle memory of the breath, please do. Take a deep inhale into your upper back, just like we were before. Exhale, you're going to tuck your toes and lift your knees 1 inch off the floor. Good, breathe. And now as you've got lots of engagement and heat coming into your body, you're going to start to build that with the breath. So start to breathe into the heat, breathe into any shaking sensation. Keep knitting and hugging yourself back to center. Last one. And exhale down. Good. The next one, we're going to come onto the elbows, and you're going to come to a plank on your elbows. That's it, keeping the brick there. Drop your hips a little lower, my love, that's it. And so you have the option either of keeping the knees lifted, or you can drop them onto the floor. That's it, Rhea. Drop your hips a little lower so your hips and your shoulders are lined up. Take a deep inhale into your upper back. Exhale, hug in, knitting this area together. Keep going. And as the heat starts to build in your system, so you deepen the breath at the same time. Good. Exhale, release down. Come to a child's pose and remove the brick from between your thighs. From here, you're going to take 3 deep breaths in child's pose, letting your forehead and your head completely soften to the ground. Soft eyes, soft jaw. And then you're going to slowly make your way to all fours again. She's going to make sure her hands are directly underneath her shoulders and her knees are underneath her hips. Then she's going to inhale, extend your right leg out behind you. Good. Can you see how our tendency is to kind of want to get this hip high, but can you lead with the inner thigh? So the inner thigh starts to lead the movement. Flex your toes back towards your face. And then when you're ready, start to extend your left hand out. Take a deep inhale into your upper back. Exhale, engage, continuing to use this breath. Last one, big inhale, long in the back of the neck. And exhale, release, come back onto all fours. Inhale, take it over to the other side. Kick your left leg out behind you. Stabilize and strengthen, leading with the inner thigh. Extend your right hand, slow and steady. Deep breaths. Last one. And lower down, come back onto all fours. Take downward facing dog. So this is going to be your first downward facing dog of this sequence. You're going to make sure that it's longer than you usually would take it, so that when you come forward into plank, Rhea, if you could demonstrate that, you have your hips and your shoulders in, so this stays in place. So take an inhale, exhale, press back. That's it, and she doesn't need to change the positioning of her feet at all. So we're going to work through a few undulations through the spine. Inhale, roll forward plank. Shoulders over the wrists. Exhale, bend your knees and push your sit bones into the sky, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Can you see how her knees didn't come to the floor at any point? So she rolls herself forward with straight legs and then tones her belly back, bends her knees. That's it. And then you're going to walk yourself forward to the front of the mat at your own time slowly. That's it. Come all the way to a forward fold. Bend your knees so much that your belly comes onto your thighs and let your head hang. Take your hands to the opposite elbows. So here you're actually getting your legs working really strong. You bend a little deeper even, that's it. And now shake your head yes and shake your head no. So all the weight is pouring out through the crown of the head. And you've got the thighs heating up and creating this stability. Keep breathing. Don't worry if you're getting a little shake or heat, that's completely normal. Okay, she's now going to let her hands release to the floor, go very heavy in the upper body. Keeping your knees bent the whole way up, start to roll up through the spine. So your arms stay heavy, your neck stays heavy, you unfurl the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way up. Lift your shoulders up to your ears. And exhale, sigh and release. Good. And then you can just let yourself be gentle, that's it. Take your hands out in front of you. And then you're going to slowly, keeping the engagement in your legs, come onto your tiptoes. That's it, Rhea. Don't worry if you wobble or fall out, it's all part of it. Good. And then very slowly we're going to start to bend the knees. Keep softening the shoulders away from the ears because they're going to want to come up a little bit. All the way down. When you get to the bottom, you're going to roll back. Rhea, you're going to demonstrate this. Roll all the way back, good. And then come up. Can you see she's coming up into a boat pose? So ideally the shins are parallel to the floor. That's it, she can bend her knees a little bit more, that's it. Good, and now try and lift up through here. Good, and then roll back. Inhale, come up. So she's using the control of her core to get that action. And she's also getting lots of synovial fluid and blood to the spine. And lie all the way back down onto your back. Draw your knees into your chest. Draw your knees into your chest and give yourself a little rock from side to side. Bring your feet back down to the floor so they're inner hip width apart. Inner hips are the two bony points at the top of the hip. Now you're going to take your right foot over your left knee. Keep the right toes as flexed as possible. It's going to have a direct relationship on your hip. And then you're going to feed your hands through. So this right hand comes through and you take the back of the shin. Take a deep inhale. Keeping that foot flexed, keep pushing the right knee away from you. And you're actually using this engagement that you've been working on to lengthen your hips away. So even in poses where you're supine, you're still hugging back to center. Last one. Okay, this is a little different from the usual twists you take in yoga, so listen in. You're going to take your hands to a cactus arm, and you're going to keep the legs exactly where they are for now. And then the sole of the right foot is going to come directly onto the floor. Sole of the right foot directly onto the floor. Good. Turn your gaze to the opposite direction, so you're getting a spinal twist the whole way through. And then she's going to start to breathe. You're going to start to breathe all the way from your right little finger to the right knee. So you're opening very gently through the right side, and you're also going to start to get some sensation in the top of the IT band if you're tight. So if you're a runner or a cyclist, you're going to feel this. Last one. And now to come up, you use the core as well. So inhale, upper back. Exhale, use your abdominal engagement in order to lift your knees back up. Yes, good. Take it over to the other side. So drop both feet back down to the floor. Nice. And then you're going to take your left foot over your right knee. Feed your hands through, take the back of the shin. If you find your neck is a little thrown back, you can support yourself with a pillow or one of the bricks underneath your head. Take your hands out to a cactus arm. Let the sole of the left foot this time drop down to the floor. That's it. Turn your gaze in the opposite direction, so you're getting a spinal twist the whole way through. Start to tune in, be in the sensation of your body where you feel the opening from the left little finger to the left knee. Breathe. One big inhale, upper back. Exhale, abdominal engagement to come back up. Good. Take your hands to your knees. Can you see here? She's going to let her arms be straight. Her hands are going to come right on the top of her knees, not to the side, but right on top. And she's going to let her arms straighten, and she's just going to stay there for a moment. Just letting the whole self rest to the floor, letting the femur bone sit into the hip joint. And then we're going to end in Shavasana. So extend your legs. This is the last final pose in yoga that ends any practice, where you let the integration of the practice come into your body. You let your palms turn up to the sky. You give a little space in between your body and your arms so that you can externally rotate your shoulders. You let your shoulders be soft. Again, you can support your neck if you find you're a little tight. And if you have any lower back problems, put something underneath your knees. It's going to help. Take a big reach up behind you. Draw your knees into your chest, give yourself a hug. Gently roll onto your right side and use your left hand to push yourself up to a seated position. Good, let your weight fall with your head. Use your left hand in front of you to push yourself up slowly. Good. Come to sit on a brick. It's a huge honor to practice with you today. Namaste.